Good morning. Good morning. We are on YouTube on Tuesday, June 22nd, just about 10 a.m. Thanks for joining, everyone. I'm Christine Clardy. I am with the Sun and Moon Yoga Studio in Northern Virginia with locations in both Arlington and Fairfax, Virginia. We have been doing 10 a.m. Monday through Friday and Sundays for quite some time now. So if you are joining us as a regular thing, welcome back. If you are just checking us out for the first time, welcome. I appreciate you and appreciate your being here. We will wait maybe half another minute before we really get into our practice for today. For practice today, if you could have a strap and some blocks nearby, that would be really helpful. As always, you are your best teacher. So if as we move into practice, there is something that doesn't work for you for today, please change it. Please do what works for you. Use your breath, use your instinct, and use our togetherness as inspiration. I know I do. Thank you again for being here. So today I am calling it TLC for work because I had to, I'm in two places at once right now. I started a Zoom training meeting at 8 a.m., pausing that over there for a moment, and now I'm here with you, which is lovely. And then I will go back to a training on Zoom till noon. So it's a work day. And on days like that, perhaps TLC is called for, but it might be a different kind of TLC than we normally think of. A lot of times TLC includes just completely letting go and doing nothing, which is great. TLC is rest very often, but sometimes TLC for work on a work day, on a busy day, is a little bit different. I actually was thinking of a program called the Veterans Yoga Project, which was begun by Dr. Dan Libby, a fantastic program that I did some training for recently. And one of the things he said, which apparently is a military statement, is support before action. Support before action. It's sort of a military guideline, a military principle. And again, I feel like some days are action days and you just have to show up. And the TLC involved in a day like that is supporting before action, and maybe even taking some short breaks for support throughout the active day. So as we get into practice today, I think that we will be exploring both that feeling of security and support of the ground and the places of us where we can let go into something larger than us, into the grace of gravity, into the ground, but also the places where perhaps we have to be a little bit more outward and a little bit more aggressive. Probably not the best word, but it's finding that balance of support before action. There just truly are some times where we have to move forward, and action is the name of the game. So with this concept of support before action, I find that sometimes a busy day can be a little bit more accessible. So we'll meet on the mat, reclined. If you would like to drop something in the chat box, you are welcome to. That way I will know that we are good to go. And it may be that you're not doing that. That's okay also. I'm happy to be here no matter what. Finding the support that's right underneath our bodies. So come on down, roll on down. If you like cushion underneath any part of you, you're welcome to add that. But start with the feet about hip distance apart and nestle in for a moment here. Wiggle in, perhaps let the shoulders move away from the ears, lengthen through the back of the neck, and let the back of the skull get broad. Breathe in intentionally and sigh it out. Let yourself settle perhaps a little more deeply into those heavy places beneath you. Breathe in again. Let it go. Now we're not going back to bed because it's a busy day, but we are reclined. So what can we do here? I actually do this sometimes before I get out of bed in the morning. So we start with hands, palms down if that's comfortable, resting anywhere on the lower abdominals, perhaps even where the torso meets the thigh near the groins, that place where the upper body translates into the lower body and the lower body translates into the upper body. Just let your hands rest here. We'll be taking a breath and I'll be offering an affirmation statement as we get into this. And you might say this aloud, or you might just listen to the sound of my voice. You might whisper it or say it inside your own head. But the statement here is, I have the right to be. Eyes open or closed. Feel the heavy sacrum bone. Feel the soles of the feet. I have the right to be. Move your hands up just a little bit to the soft belly. The hands can rest maybe right over the navel or just below the navel. Breathe in. The statement here, I have the right to live. I have the right to live. Feel the belly rise and fall. The hands come up now right at the lower ribs. You might imagine the movement of the diaphragm here. Maybe the pinkies and the ring finger are below the rib, but the thumb and forefinger are on the ribs. I have the right to do. Conversely, I have the right to not do. Breathe in and out, the ribs flare and descend. I have the right to do. I have the right to not do. Let the hands come up and rest on the heart. You might choose to stack them in the center of your chest or let your hands rest along either side of your chest. I have the right to feel. I have the right to feel. The hands will continue moving up now somewhere to the region of the throat, whatever you consider the throat. Maybe it's actually the sides of your neck and jaw. Perhaps it's that soft area right at the base of the throat. Make your hands comfortable. You could even imagine the place in your throat that gets a little tight when you feel choked up and emotional. Breathe here. I have the right to speak. I have the right to speak. The hands will move up now, somewhere in the region of the brow. Could be on either side, could be in the center. You might be touching your head firmly or just hovering. You might imagine this as that third eye in the center of the forehead. I have the right to learn. I have the right to learn. And then finally, we'll let the hands reach up and around, cupping the crown of the head, again, as firmly or as gently as you like. I have the right to know. I have the right to know. Bring your attention to your breath. You might imagine it enlivening and flowing through all these different places. And if there's any place that you'd like to return to take an extra breath in support of your work day or your busy day, Let your hand land. Perhaps you don't remember that place, but your hand just lands somewhere, and that's great. Bring your arms out to a T, let them uncurl, unfold, relax the entire back of the arm against the earth. Step the feet a little wider, and we'll take a few windshield wipers here, feeling the places that are firm and hard against the mat as your feet roll from edge to edge. Maybe you feel the bones of the sacrum and the femur wiggling and rotating in the hip socket, shoulder blades against the mat. Allow yourself to soak up the power of Mother Earth beneath you and let it float up and through you and above you. Some people might feel more sense of energy coming down from above, and they're receiving that from the ether, from the air, from the atmosphere above. And after you've woken up a little bit here, if you would find that strap that we mentioned, and straighten both legs, flex and point the feet, and with the buckle in one hand or safely on the ground, we'll start with the right leg, bend the right knee, let the strap come underneath the ball of the foot so that you almost have reins on a horse, the back of the arms resting against the mat rather than reaching and straining. Remember, we're all about support before action. So let the arms connect with gravity. Bend and straighten the right knee with the foot flexed so that you get a sense of what is the support of the strap. If you wiggle the strap, does the leg wiggle? And you can let the leg go completely. So the strap is your support. And then what is action? As you straighten the knee into the strap, maybe feel the muscles fire up, a little lengthening of the hamstring. Support before action. At some point, find what is to you the active stance of your foot energy reaching out into the strap. And the strap is there more as a guideline to enhance the ability that you have to hold the leg, perk up the thighs, quads, maybe even a little tone in the ab, but continuing to relax in the shoulders. Maybe even you've prepared enough support that you could let go of the strap and just hold the leg in this place and return to support when you like. We'll be passing the straps into the right hand. So we have a right leg and right hand. Turn the toes out externally. This is probably like 1 or 2 o'clock. And again, if you'd like to straighten and bend the knee, as you let this leg come off to the right, experiment with support in the strap before the action of holding the leg there. Now, another important support might be to offset what's happening with the active right leg by taking the left arm, uncurling it like a root growing out through the soil and planting that and reaching out to the left, as well as reaching down and across the mat with the left foot. If you get tired, return to the support, to the sling of your strap here. Look for the places that can let go in order to focus the power, focus the action into particular isolated muscles here. And then when you're ready, we'll bring that leg back up straight. You might let it relax and wiggle out a bit. Pass the straps now into the left hand. So we have the right leg and the left hand now. Turn the toes and therefore the whole entire leg internally. Maybe the toes are now at 11-ish or 10-ish o'clock. Really send grounding energy down the straight left leg. Right arm perhaps is a counterweight. And again, we might experiment with support. Let the leg fall into the strap. It's like a sling that catches an injured limb. But then when you're ready, imagine the muscles hugging the bone, straighten the leg, energy going out the heel and the arch of the foot, and maybe the leg can stay there on its own. Now, we would not be folding over all the way onto the ground like we would if we were really just seeking length, which is another wonderful way to use the ground and to use this Supta Padangustasana routine that we're doing here. But today we're a little bit more about strength. So holding, supporting, and then bring it back up when you're ready. Bend the knee that's on the mat and take this right ankle onto the left knee. Just let the strap go wherever. We're going to gently come into a figure 4 to release the thigh. If you'd like to pull the left thigh in close to your body and straighten that left leg up to the ceiling and rotate the ankle, you certainly can. You might even do a little rock the baby here, going left and right while you're in the figure 4. Whatever feels like a nice counter pose to what we just did. Come on back to center. Now, we will want to find some neutral again. So let the feet be hip distance apart. Press into the feet, lift and lower the pelvis a couple times so that you can come back to neutral, maybe even a little gentle windshield wiper. And then straighten both legs completely, flex and point the feet. We'll be bending the left knee now. And again, the buckle is either in your hand or safely on the ground so you don't whack yourself in the eyeball. Arms resting on the mat, broad through the collarbones. Let's take a breath here. We may have gotten a little tense as we begin our support before action. Let it go. Bend and straighten the left leg now. Activate the right leg. We haven't forgotten about that one. Supporting. And then when you feel ready, the action of letting your own body, letting your own strength hold the leg at whatever angle seems appealing to you for today. Maybe it's straight up, you're reaching directly, vertically into the sky. Maybe you've got something more 45-degree-ish. And you'll notice these are different actions, right? So depending on what you chose, you might be working more quads, more lower abs. Even the shin, this front of my leg right now is pretty active. And I know I can always return to a little bit of support, release, and then return to action as I need. Or yeah, on a work day, maybe you need to. That's kind of our theme we've got going here today. All right, now we'll turn the toes to the left. So the left toes turning to the left. Both straps are in the left hand, and we're coming off the midline here. So the right leg is nice, grounded. You can let the right hand help hold the right pelvic point down. You can uncurl that hand out to the right. Let the strap help you into this point of play. Support and then action. The toes are rotated externally just a bit here. Breathe through all those 7 points that we began our time together with. All up and down the 7 points on the central channel. And then your choice, if you'd like to use the strap or the muscles of your leg to pull yourself back to center, you might straighten and bend to release a little bit. And now the straps are in the right hand. The toes turn toward the right internally, so 1 or 2 o'clock. And we're folding the leg over. So it might not go very far. I know mine doesn't. How far down it is toward the other ankle, or how close your toes are coming up toward where your nose is completely up to you. But you will notice different things happen to the hips as you make those decisions. So that's another really great reason for exploring your support before you get into a lot of action. Where is my support? Maybe you've let go of the strap entirely. It's your place of support that you can return to when you're ready. Bring the leg back up to center and bend the lower leg, bend the right knee. The left ankle comes on top of the left knee. Left ankle on top of the right knee. We're in a figure 4. You can use the palm of your hand with this left foot flex, the left ankle flex, and gently open the thigh. You might also thread fingers behind the right thigh and use that mechanism to pull the ankle closer in. Option to straighten the right leg and flex and point the ankle. And then another idea here is rock the baby. If you think of your lower leg as a little baby that you're cradling, cradle it in, rock it left and right. Let it feel good. And then we'll take both feet back on the floor, straighten both legs, pull yourself into a full body twist, fingers reaching behind you, toes reaching away from you. Wiggle the pads of the fingers. Imagine that the very tips of your fingernails are reaching. Flex and point the feet, spread the toes, rotate the ankles. Full body stretch. In fact, if you feel some movement coming on that facilitates this reaching, let this be a moment of freedom yoga. Reaching in both directions. I, for some reason, bent my right knee so I can pull myself into a bit of a crescent. That feels great. So I'll try it on the other side, bending the left knee, pulling myself into a crescent on the other side. Support can often be there in ways that we didn't even suspect. This feels really supportive and great to me right now. It was not on my plan. Support before the action of rolling over onto your belly and making a choice if you'd like to come into child or down dog. I will be coming into down dog and doing that in such a way like so. I'm starting on my elbows. Okay, you might be in child's pose, you might be in full-on dog.
But this dog is relaxed. This dog is waking up. Haven't put it on a leash yet. Press down either into the hands or the forearms. Press away with the hands. Know that as you press down, you might feel more inclined to lift the tailbone up, flip it up like a happy dog tail in the back. Lengthening from tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. Remember that place where we said we have the right to know things? Give it a little shake. Pedaling the feet. We'll be walking hands toward the feet here in just a minute. So when you're ready, lift the heels. You may bend the knees a lot. Find your breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you come into a full ragdoll shape, bend your knees a lot. Let the head relax a lot. Feel the support of your belly against the thighs. Maybe your blocks were here waiting for you. Maybe you're using the arches of your feet or your shins as support. A little tuck in the tailbone here. Now, recruiting strength in the legs. Press down into the feet, tone in the belly. We'll be coming up one vertebra at a time. Every action preceded by a sense of support. So imagine drinking up whatever it is that you might need through the tucked tailbone. Then the shoulders rolling back. The chin is still tucked. We're coming up through the back of the head, kind of last. Crown of the head, really, really last. Let the shoulders relax and the hands let go of everything. Exhale completely. Breathe in again. We'll take a moment in Tadasana here. So feel the feet, all four corners of the feet, the ball under the big toe, ball under the pinky toe, back of the heel, a little bit on the left and a little bit on the right. And then when you're ready, inhale, arms up overhead, fingertips reach, thread the fingers together, and we will take a crescent here. So press a little bit extra through the left hand. In fact, the right hand might reach underneath the left hand to lift it up and away. Notice where your gaze is. Is your gaze up? Probably adding a little arch, a little extension in the spine, or do you prefer to have your gaze down, a little bit more protective for the cervical spine? Now take note of the reaching wrist. Rotate figure eights. This is the left hand that we were lifting and pushing away. Figure eights coming on down. Shake it off. And we'll take the other side. So thread the fingers together, press up and away. Pull yourself over into a crescent. If it helps to bring the feet together, you may. If it helps to step the feet wide, you can do that too. This time it's the right wrist and palm reaching up. The left hand might scoop underneath, gently supporting that action of reaching away. And again, take note of where you've chosen the gaze to go. Up, down, straight ahead, perhaps at your computer screen. Let's release this by lifting up and figure eight. Rolling the wrist and the arm, come on down. Let that translate into shoulder rolls back, stepping the feet a little bit wide.
And then a couple shoulder rolls forward. Step the feet a little bit wider now, and with knees bending, let yourself windmill left and right. I call this Ganeshasana after Ganesha, which is that elephant deity that you might be familiar with in the images of the Hindu canon of deities. So think of yourself like an elephant going through the forest, clearing a path. Let your knees bend. Let your whole spine participate. The more you relax the arms, actually, the more rotation you might feel here. Where are the places that are supportive? Where are the places that are active? Slowly, slowly, slowly let that go. And what I'd like to do to finish up is go ahead and find blocks or the seat of a chair if you need them. We'll be taking a wide-legged forward fold. And this is because I want to end in eagle pose, just as a little secret, I'll tell you that, which looks a little like this. I'm sideways so that you can see me from the side, but step your legs nice and wide. They'll be wider than hip distance apart. Block to bring the support up to you. Inhale, and then exhale, bend your knees if you need to. Folding, finding the blocks or the mat or the seat of your chair. Press down for flat back. Now the left hand comes into the middle just a bit so that the right arm can reach up as we inhale and exhale into a twist. Bend the knees if you need to, but let's see if we can have a flat back. Inhale here, exhale, and then we'll inhale back on down. Let the right hand move a little bit into the center. Breathe in, exhale into the twist. Have a breath here in and out. Return to center. Now the left hand presses down and we roll the barrel of the chest open to the right. This time as you exhale, come all the way under as if your right hand were reaching toward your left ankle. So your right arm is underneath the left. Bend the knees and come up with the arms in an X. And if you prefer to keep that wrap happening, you could rise up with eagle arms or backs of the hands just pressing toward each other. And we'll hold here for just a moment. Let the breath expand into some nooks and crannies that are still waking up. And then on an inhale, reach the arms up, shake or roll, figure eight. Hands come back down to the hips. Inhale, exhale to fold. This time the right hand is a little bit closer into the center and we press down in order to roll open to the left and reach underneath, a little bit like threading the needle. Let the left hand come far out toward the right ankle. Notice the way your arms are crossed. The gaze is still straight down for balance. Knees are bent for balance. Press down. Come up. The arms are crossed in an X. And if you'd like to wrap into eagle arms, taking a bind with the hands or just having the backs of the hands pressed toward each other. They're both equally effective for opening through the base of the throat, collarbones, shoulder blades. Breathe into a soft belly. Exhale completely. And then we'll use an inhale to lift light-filled lungs, Fingers reaching up, and as you come down, shake it off. Heel toe the feet a little closer together, and then zoop, you might jump together right at the end. And we'll close our practice with what I call candlestick pose, where everything is zipped up right up the midline, elbows tucked in at the side, hands at heart center, the head bowing to the heart. At this point in your practice, you might feel prepared to continue exploring standing postures, or move into a mindfulness practice or a seated meditation or shavasana. Whatever the case may be, it's my hope that our time together has been support before your action. And I want to end by letting you know that the light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Thanks for your time, everyone. Go well.